Hey Tubies, welcome back to the Morgan's Fire channel. It's me, Morgan's Fire. So today, I wanted to speak on a few things. One of the things I wanted to speak on is my beginning. But before that, I want to show you some of the new ones that I created. But I'll show you that at the end since this video is going to be pretty long. Alright, so to start it off, my beginnings was not knowing nothing. My beginnings is watching Charm, watching Buffy, watching Angel, watching this, and not knowing nothing. Another one of my beginnings is, or a part of that same beginning, was my mom teaching us that these are the elements. Not the elements, but this is the sun, this is the moon, this is the stars, and never really shuttering the idea that everything is possible. She never shuttered that idea that everything is possible. So that just kept way, and she never really said that this is the religion that we have, and this is the only thing we gonna have to have, and yeah, so it was I never felt religiously oppressed. Let's put it like that. Or spiritually oppressed. I never felt that way. Some people may have, but I never felt that way until I got older and started practicing the craft and was able to talk and say, what I wanted to say and practice what I wanted to practice. But as long as there was a spirituality, I never was oppressed, or I never felt that way. Not in my early childhood. I never felt like I couldn't stray outside of the spirituality, and which I never tried. But then, as I go along, my mother quit the church because it was just a whole issue sort of thing. I really don't understand what was going on then either, till I was about 3 or 4. And then it goes over to having no spirituality. And then other issues. And then when I come back around 12, I start looking into witchcraft, looking into spells, looking into potions, trying to find out if that stuff on Charm was really true. And then it just started going on, and then I really didn't run into that idea that Wicca was on Buffy. I didn't catch that, or on Charm, and not until later. And start, listen to the really words that they were saying, because maybe I didn't understand half of the words that they were saying. I was just so interested in the show and the cartoon part of it. Anyways, so I started looking into this and looking into that, and then I guess what really sparked me is that one day I cast a spell and it changed my life dramatically. I moved 365 miles away from the area I wanted to leave. And there was just so much things going on at one time that I understood. And then about 2 years later, I embarked upon Wicca. I embarked upon altars. I embarked upon sacred tools, witchcraft, Wicca, occult, all that came together, and not just incantations, spells, potions, ingredients, recipes, things like that. Exactly what I give on YouTube. I give a lot of spells, things like that. And that's sort of like the right but wrong way to go, because if you keep seeing your spells work, you're going to keep craving more. When you see them fail, you're going to go down. And then you're gonna wonder why, and the human mind doesn't work that way to understand something that it doesn't even understand the concept. So then I went on to just learn about the different concepts, the earth, air, fire, water, pentagram, all this, just 5 days up, day and night, looking on the internet, looking up all different things. Um, then when I found this thing about the year and the day thing, then that just tripped me out. Because I was like, oh, I've been casting spells, practicing magic, doing all this, whatever I called it, witchcraft, and I didn't know about this year and the day thing. Uh, so then when I found out about the year and the day thing, I started taking my path a little a little bit more seriously. Um, start personalizing my practice a little bit more because I couldn't do all that stuff that they said to do on the Cunningham's book about the Espis and the Sabbaths and things. The first thing I went out to go buy was resins. Angelica root, resins, mandrake root, burdock. So these are all these herbs that I heard on Charm, things like that. And I went out and bought these because I used to buy my stuff at a brujería's place, a Santeria Botanica is what they call it. And I I used to buy all of my different oils and stuff from there, and do the candle anointings. And like I knew all the basics of magic, but didn't know the concepts behind it. So that's where Wicca comes in. And that's where Wicca always crossed with witchcraft, because Wicca focuses a lot on the concept, and then you can connect their concepts to witchcraft, which is exactly where they got their concepts. From the European pagan religions or pagan cultures that honor the different days and cycles of the sun, and then you have these witches that use this energy for certain things, and oracles and things, and prophets that say that this lunar eclipse is so special, and we use all this power to change sorts of our lives and things like this, and have omens and stuff. So, and that's where they have really overcrossed and really overlapped, and I really can't figure out where I was going with that. But after a while, I started to focus on Wicca, witchcraft, things like that, and then it leads me up to right now. Right now, you see all of my videos, and you'll see the last 2 years of me practicing Wicca. Now, witchcraft, Wicca. Now, another thing I want to tell y'all is that I have family members that practice witchcraft, hoodoo witchcraft. That hoodoo. So, hoodoo witchcraft is very prominent in the South. If that's the right word to use. And that's like, everybody's scared. Either you're scared of it, you know about it, you don't mess with it, or you do it. And that do it part is all the way at the end. It's really far apart away from the rest of them. But you know about it, you're scared about it, you don't mess with it. That's it. And they taught me a little bit, because they just taught me just a little bit about it, but they didn't teach me like the elements, things like that. They taught me about this is what you do for this is what you do for that, that's what you do for this. They taught me like this salt only has more purposes than salting up your food. They taught me about um, like grass and what I call grass, and they called uh, I forgot what they called it, but they called a certain grass something else, and um, then I used to ask them all kind of questions about their altars, and that looks like with dark magic. That looks like all this, but they was like, no, this gold symbolized this, and this feather symbolized this. This right here is for cleansing. This for, and I didn't understand none of that, not at the time. Um, and then I got back from my trip, and I went to go search right in Wicca, go up there, ask a whole lot of damn questions about shit that you do know about, but you beating around the bush to say it and act like you know about it, but you really don't know about it, just to get some answers out. So I just added my information and got the answers back from my high priest. I hope I could put his thing right there. No, I ain't gonna be able to put his thing right there. But anyways, my high priest, I started asking him all kinds of questions and doing this and doing that. And before you know it, I started taking classes there. I started taking classes. I started to really get into Wicca. Started understanding it. Started tuning myself to the element. And before you know it, it just became a part of me. And then as I learned more and more, it was like almost like a memory that I couldn't remember, and it came back. That's how I felt. And it came back, and that's how emotional it was, because it was like, how could I go so many years not knowing this, but I felt like I knew it. I felt like I knew it. And as I've learned and experienced more, it's been a trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. And I find out that all of my errors was because you don't understand the pure concept. The pure concepts of either the spell that you're doing, things like that. All of my trials and winnings, or spells that worked, was because really I can't call myself a Wiccan. Well, I call myself Wiccan witch. People could call themselves Buddhist witch, whatever kind of witch, you Christian witch, just witches focus a lot on their crafts, sympathetic magic, candle magic, poppet magic, herb magic, sachets, things like that, potions, herbal mixes, powders, and then we focus on this, but then that's like the next step right there. The next step, that should be like, I say 2 years and 2 days, and then your first 2 years you should be learning nothing but attuning, empowerment, recognizing, attuning, understanding, or recognizing, understanding, and attuning. And when I started doing this, it just started feeling more natural. Power just felt more coming to me. Like, I started understanding that, like, I need healing. Go down to the water. Just go there. No hesitation, no questions asked. Go down there. I felt like it was like I'm at automatic jump, like almost a reflex, sort of say, for me to, like, if I'm hurting, I start healing myself, and it just start becoming natural. And then through honoring these days and cycles of the moon and the sun, and honoring the planets, honoring in witchcraft and witches, it means recognize, understand, attune. Simple as that. recognize, understand